Hello, my name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I'm making these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am. Hello again. It's been a while. More details will follow in the coming days. I'm going to get back in the habit of making these once a day, every weekday. I believe that was good for my own personal development. I don't think I'm going to call it start, continue, even though I want to. But I feel like I have to. It would be cheating if I kept the day count going and progressed it forward. I'm also noticing that these sort of videos, they're like the titles of chapters for my life. That, like, in principle, to start, continue, if you continue to do it, you'll succeed. I didn't continue. But then the question is, do you stop after you stop one time? Or do you start again? That's the ultimate question. I think the answer is you just keep going. And although what feels like stopping isn't actually stopping, it's just momentarily pausing. Maybe take a second to, rather than continue to grind your head into the pavement, like, just pause for a second, look around, breathe, and gain some perspective. And then with that new information, then you can go back into that, but in a more effective direction. A lot has changed in my life over the past, I guess you could say, 2 months. More details will follow on that. The big question that I have been contemplating and working through is, what do I want to do with my life? And really, and answering that honestly, authentically, truthfully, spiritually. I don't know what word I'm looking for. But because my goal up until this point has been, like, make over $100,000 a year. Why? It's because then you win. Why? It's like, well, because then girls will find you attractive. Why? It's because the internet says they would want someone with 6 figures. Is that a good why? It's like, well, you don't actually know that. That's just what you're hearing. Is that a distortion of reality, or is that real? It goes like, well, I saw it in reality, but it's not necessarily an accurate model for reality. And then also, is that a healthy source of motivation? And then it's like, well, what do you mean by healthy? Because it is a source of motivation, because it creates a sense of deprivation, because my current situation is not at that place. And so therefore I am motivated to behave in a way that gets me there. But the point, like, it's like, that's when it turns into then it's a means to an end. It's like, why do I actually want that? And I can't find an answer to that question that's a good one, that's like you can stand on, that's solid. It's just, I can just come up with more words. Actually, the answer that I come up with is, it's a target to aim at and pursue. And it's better to have something to aim at, and that's aiming up, than to have no aim to begin with. Because, like, if you have no aim, then you have no frame of reference to determine, number one, where you are, or number two, like, if you're making progress. It's like, if you don't try, you can't fail. So, like, why not just get drunk every day? You know, like, it's like going, like, if my target is to make $100,000, become a doctor, build a house, fucking learn how to make the best, become a 3 Michelin star chef, whatever it is, then it's like, well, why don't you just get drunk every day? Like, just as a thing, or like, and I say drunk every day, the more fancy version of it is like, why don't you just indulge yourself in the hedonistic pleasures of reality? Like, and just fucking do whatever. But, like, because if you want to be that Michelin star chef, then it's like, well, the reason why you can't get drunk every day and indulge in the hedonistic pleasures of reality is because that will impede your ability to progress toward that goal. Okay. So, but then if you just take that away, then there's nothing telling you that you can't do it. But also, that sounds great, But then you can't have positive emotion in the absence of a goal, because whenever you make progress towards said goal, then your brain releases dopamine, which is that feel-good thing. And that incentivizes you, that incentive reward incentivizes you and increases the likelihood of you repeating that behavior again in the future and similar behaviors. And then you feel positive emotion. But then so if you don't have a goal, that's when then people get helpless? No. Hopeless? No. Aimless. And there's a difference between aimless and aim-free. It's like if you make something for the sake of it to exist, that's different. That's the more aim-free. It's like I don't have an intention. Like it's like I built this measuring thing in order for me to help people measure things and sell it and then make money from it. Okay? But there's like a specific aim with it. But if you, like, I don't know, write a poem because you felt inspired to, and you just had the creative muse overcome you, come through you, speak through you, I don't know. Well, then it's an aim-freeness of it. Like I wasn't doing this in order to something. The in order to of the something that I made, I made it in order for it to exist. But and then that's it. And if someone enjoys it, that's great. And I think that's specifically more with like creative sort of things. Like if you try to make art that people enjoy, or for someone other than just yourself, and for yourself, I don't like that phrasing sometimes because then it's like, well, if it was just for yourself, technically you wouldn't share it. So then that's where you get contradicted when you then share it with people. But I don't see an issue with sharing it with people if you made it for yourself. That's why I prefer the framing of like you made it so that it would be. So it would be what? Exactly. Like but so I have been spending the last, I call it 35 days, evaluating what goal I want to be pursuing, and perhaps expanding on the time horizon in which I will measure my own progress on it. Because rather than I have to make $100,000 or more this year or within the next 6 months, might be a little unrealistic. And it's like, well, what's that? I watched, what was it, like 4 weeks ago? Tony Robbins' I Am Not Your Guru, available on Netflix. Really good. I don't think this is a direct Tony Robbins quote. Like I don't think that he coined it, but I heard it from him first. But it's, most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in 2 or 3 decades. And so the framing of success is, rather than I need this now, like I can see there's people online who are making more than me and like more than 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever, that are younger than me or the same age or like similar to that. And whether or not they're lying, I'm just going to assume that they're telling the truth. And in so doing, then I feel like I'm not doing enough. But then that's where it's going like, okay, but like, what game are you trying to play? And I think the game, like the meta or the more fundamental game I'm trying to play, is writing the story of Duncan Alderdice. And that's why I enjoy making these videos. Because this is the process of doing so. And we'll see what happens with that. But if the game is writing the story of Duncan Alderdice, and I guess this also would apply for whoever is listening, except instead of Duncan Alderdice, insert your name. But if that's the case, then their success, like someone else's, what's happening here? Their success is still recording. Yes, it is. Their success, number one, doesn't take away from mine, though I didn't feel like it did take away from mine, but shouldn't be used as a reference point to measure my own progress. And then it gives me the space to feel happy for them and proud of them and take delight in their own success, because it's not the ego diminishes because it's not challenging my own thing. That, like, okay, say they're making more money than me. Yes, they are objectively winning the game of making more money at this current point in time, but they're fundamentally and objectively losing the game of being me. So then, like, the comparison is useful because that's where you get motivation from, because there's the deprivation. It's like where I am is less than where they're at. But it also gives me the space to give myself a bit more grace and empathy and be like, sometimes I feel like I'm old and I'm 27. And then I think of myself or any 45-year-old, and they look at me and I know they think I'm a child. Like 21 and 22-year-olds are like, you don't know anything. Right. But then, so it's like, it feels like I'm behind. But like, maybe I should just like, rather than trying to be the millionaire by the age of 29, what if I set myself up to be financially secure, having a solid social network, a loving and wonderful family, and spiritual alignment, which spiritual sometimes is that amorphous word that means everything and nothing at the same time, but you need to define in order for any sort of genuine communication to occur. I don't know if I can do that right now. But like, if I aim for that, like something like 20 years out, it's like, if I plan for that, and then that's something to aim at. And then you can like detail out things leading up until that point. And of course, no one can see 20 years into the future like we're clairvoyant, because we aren't. Is clairvoyant the right word? Let's just go to check. Dun, dun, dun. Clairvoyant. Clairvoyant. Fucking take longer. No, take your time. Able to perceive things beyond normal senses, seeming to see hidden or future events. Hidden or future events. I was right. Because I'm not clairvoyant, the model isn't going to be fixed. Like, it's like, here are the steps of exactly what's going to occur over the next 20 years, 10 years, 30 years, whatever the fucking time frame is. But just in a more, it gives more leeway for failure, for progress, but also leads to less self-judgment. Or more, I think it's just, I have been grinding the fuck out of everything that I've been trying to do and make it work now. It's got to work now. And I think perhaps if I extended the time horizon with which I set and interpreted my goals, that'd be a more successful long-term strategy. Like, I think something I want to do is actually like set up a business where I'm helping people become who they are. Like, I like that concept. Like, I enjoy doing that. That's what I do when I fucking go out and but last time when I made these videos, the purpose of making them was to like immediately monetize. quick little technical glitch there, but that's all good. Insufficient insufficient dick space. Insufficient disk space. That thing popped up. That before the point of making the videos was to monetize them as quickly as possible, or to find, maybe not the actual videos, but find a way to bring them to a group that then could be monetized and build a business, make money right now, make money that surpasses the amount of money I'm making at my job, then quit my job and then do this full time. It's like, okay, love that energy. But like, instead of within the next 6 months or the next 12 months, what if we did it over the course of the next 120 months? No. What's 10 years? 10 times 12, 120. I was right the first time. 120 months. Like, you can be slow with it. And like, or if there's only 4 ways to get new customers, either cold outreach, warm outreach, paid ads, or organic content. Organic content that's what I'm doing right here. But like, that's more of a long-term play of building brand, building associations, building credibility, allowing someone to meet me before they meet me in order to feel more comfortable meeting me. Like, it's still useful. Like, do something. But again, flushing that all out? No, my mom said that's wrong. Flushing it out. So that's what I've been doing. But I have noticed that in ceasing to do these videos, these daily videos, my commitment to personal development has been more haphazard than it has been consistent. And so if I'm trying to get back into good habits, like practice better habits. This past week has been the best week of the past 35 days. More details to come on that. And I almost didn't record this today. I wanted to record one last week on the December 1st, but then I procrastinated it. And then was trying to make it perfect with the outline of the life. But like, then I was like, okay, let's just fucking do a shitty version of this one, get the ball rolling. They're going to be low edits because I don't have Adobe yet. Again, I'm going to get it again though. But at least I've started. I don't know what I'm going to call it. What is this chapter going to be called? I want to call it Yes, You Can. Yes, you can. Start, continue. It was a good fucking ender. Do I want to commit to Yes, You Can right now? Yeah, it's along the lines. Perfect. Cool. So that's what's going on here. Clementine Club, thanks for sticking around as always. And remember that desire is what drives you forward. The pain you're going through is necessary. That's why you need to believe in yourself, because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. Lean in, aim up, and move forward. Yes, you can. It's a new one.